Great landing. It is great to be with you all. This is the Danny Kadota Show, and I am not Danny Kadota. Danny, I don't know where Danny is. Maybe he's coming, maybe he's not. I'm not sure. He may have gotten a little bit confused because I was out on the Independence, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. I'm also going to tell you that we're going to be back in just a little bit longer at 6 p.m. from Island Fishing Tqckle with a huge raffle tonight. It's going to be really outstanding. In fact, over $2,000 worth of rods. And if you want some information on it, you can text Chuck Zimmer there. You can also Zelle him the funds for tonight's raffle. $5 for one ticket, 5 tickets for $20. And man, I'm telling you, the rods are beautiful. It's going to be fantastic. We have 3 rods and a mystery gift, $300 mystery gift. The total of prizes tonight's over $2,000, over $2,000. So again, there's all of Chuck's info and his Venmo number, Charles-Zimmer-5, right there for you. So you can see that right now. And that will take place at the end of Tackle Shop Confessions tonight, which will air at 6 p.m. All right. I don't know where Danny is, but I do know where Isaac is. And he says, good afternoon. And Isaac, good afternoon. I know Isaac will be in the raffle. I wish you the very best of luck. In fact, I think, Isaac, if I remember, you're heading out on a Bluefin trip tonight or tomorrow night. Let me know. Put a comment up there so I know where you're heading out and what boat you're going to be on. Because this Bluefin tuna fishing, everybody, is absolutely fantastic. It can't get much better than it is. Limits for just about everybody last night. And starting to see a lot of that really big fish, that 100-plus pound fish. You know, like where a guy like the Phil Frieman, I think, had over a dozen fish. There's some nice hits going on. Chivo, great to see you, my friend. Always really appreciate you being here. And Jeff Lingle, Jeff, I tell you, man, you've been a fountain of information for us here. From the Eddie Bomb advice to the slack tide and shallower water, switching over to a knife jig or a flat fall. All of that information, Jeff, is deeply appreciated. Really good bluefin tuna fishing last night on the Independence again, and several other boats just putting the wood to them. Of course, on board the Independence is our good friend Kevin Kwan. And Kevin is from Young's Fishing Tackle over there in Bellflower, California. It's a great tackle store, one that I know you'll thoroughly enjoy. And Kevin is just a great guy. So make sure you drop by there and say hi to Kevin when he gets back in. That would be fantastic. Big raffle tonight, 6 p.m. Just repeating that, there's all the information you need to participate. And the ETA for the raffle, like I'm going to say 7:30 this evening. It should be about 7:30. It's at the end of the show. If the show ends up early, then we'll have the raffle early. But I imagine we'll go at least an hour and a half. And of course, we're celebrating Scott Buchert's birthday. Scott's birthday is not until May the 2nd. But tonight, on Tackle Shop Confessions, Anthony and yours truly and everybody else that will be there will be celebrating Scott's birthday. We got a cake, we got a card, we got a lot of fun planned. I'm going to go to dinner with Scott and his parents tomorrow night to keep the celebration going. I mean, this guy really, you know, you thought Paulina played up her birthday down in Ensenada. Scott is right up there with her, if you ask me. All right, Isaac says he's not going to be going until the 16th of May on the Pacific Voyager with Max. We love it. Mad Dog is sitting right here, Anthony, right in front of me and really helping us out a lot. Isaac says, I think there's 8 spots left open. Manuel Ochoa, perdón. Phil, hey, it's good to see you, Manuel. Rifles, rods, and broads. I love those guys. Langosta and Jojo are joining us. Man, you guys are number one. I enjoy being on your podcast. Highly recommend to you all out there that you go to Rifles, Rods, and Broads on YouTube and subscribe because Langosta and Jojo are really doing a great job. Looking forward to seeing Chuck's rod at 7:30. Maybe it'll be your rod at the end of the show tonight. Again, over $2,000 worth of stuff going out tonight. You're going to want to watch Tackle Shop Confessions live from Island Fishing Tqckle at 6 p.m. Back to the bluefin tuna again. We found that on our trip, at least, we're on a 5-day trip on board the Independence. Great boat, great crew. I love those guys. We had so much fun. Man, I'll tell you, the Eddie Bomb, basically a 16-ounce torpedo sinker, worked better than anything. And it didn't matter if it was with whether it was painted or it was just the torpedo sinker. It really didn't matter at all. So once again, that Eddie Bomb really produced well for us. David Waters. Hey, David, what's up? Been a little big for the private boater guys. Can't wait to get out to Clemente. Hope you get out there soon. Scott Buchert said $20 for the raffle. I thought we were going to see you tonight, Scott.
You only put 10.
No, I put $19.99 from what I see. Scott Buchert. Hey, we'll give you one ticket, Scott, for $20 just because it's your birthday. Lipper the Fisherman. Hey, Phil, congratulations on a great trip. Lipper, that was a great trip, man. It was so much fun. I had so much fun bringing that to you live in many cases. And of course, you know, I walked up to Brian when we were in a nighttime bite, and I go, come here, man, the captain of the boat, Brian Pfeiffer. I go, get over here, dude. I want to mic you up and follow you around. And I had to put my track shoes on. This old man was running all over the place, chasing Brian Pfeiffer around. That, I thought, was such a fun segment to shoot, number one, and to bring to you, because Brian not only is great at what he does, he's so genuinely enthusiastic about working those trips. You can feel it, the excitement, the electricity in the air when Brian's on deck and he's running around gaffing fish. Man, it was tremendous. Scott Bucher, we got 5 tickets filled out for you for tonight's raffle, over $2,000 in rods and a $300 mystery prize. Also tonight, there's the information. You can call Chuck, or I would text him if you need some information. You can Zelle him at that phone number, or you can do Venmo, which is Charles-Zimmer-5 if you want to get in on it tonight. David says Grunion Night Phil. So there are Grunion tonight, if I can decipher that correctly. Jeff says Brian is super nice guy, hard worker. Yeah, Jeff, you know, that is one thing, work ethic, that you get down in this business. I got it when I was 12 years old, and it carried me through so many different situations. You know, when I went to China, I saw a lot of teachers go upstairs and watch TV. You know, they'd finish their 3-hour shift of teaching, and I just looked at that and I said, man, this is going to be so frigging easy here, you know, to start another school or to work. And I was working like 12 hours a day, having great fun, learning about the culture, learning about the people of China, spending time with the locals, and work ethic. You're so right. It's such an important part of this business, and you can apply it to so many other types of work, or, you know, whatever, academic endeavors, whatever. It works really, really well. Brian was great. So following him around was great. Now, daytime fishing, if you're catching that smaller grade bluefin, I'm going to say 30 to 50. In most cases, it's very line shy. So you're fishing fluorocarbon, 25 to 30 pound, and a small hook, like a number 6 circle hook. Blacktail hooks, as you see right there, work really, really well. And you're choosing a really good hot bait. When you get in to that bigger grade fish that we found down there around San Martin Island, that's 140 miles below the border, more or less, where we were fishing with the Mexican seiner fleet. We were fishing down there with those guys, and there you're going to want to bump it up to, if you're fly lining, nothing less than 60 pound. If you're sinker rig fishing, nothing less than 80 pound. And if you're fishing a jig ever, nothing less than 100, because they're bigger, they're tougher. The longer you're on them, the more things that can go wrong. And I got to tell you, we were working with the seiners down there. So I was up in the wheelhouse, and they had a plane up, and they had 2 helicopters. And the helicopter was talking to us, and he was saying like, hey, right up there, 100 yards off your starboard bow, you got a nice little spot. Oh, hey, there's another little spot over here. It was really cool having the helicopters kind of point us in the right direction. We couldn't get much of a bite during the daytime down there, but we did manage 4 really nice fish, 400-plus pound fish down there around that area. And then the weather went to spit on us at night. It was really rough weather. And we finally got on some fish, but the weather was so rough, it was hard to keep your jig straight up and down. It was scoped out so far. We caught 1 fish, and that's all she wrote. So we took a little bit of a gamble by going down there, but we already had 130 bluefin tuna up in this area. And when I say up in this area, I'm talking around the Butterfly Bank, the 60-mile bank. Seems like that bluefin's on a trajectory for Cortez Bank. It looks like that's where they're going to go. Most cases, they're kind of pushing west, but every once in a while they'll screw you up and kind of go east. And, once you think you have bluefin tuna figured out, they'll throw you a curveball and screw you all up. So really great fishing right now. The bluefin bite is on. It's been fantastic. We came out of that moon phase. The full moon last year was detrimental to the bite, and we see it again this year. We do see that it goes down on us during the full. Came out of that, and man, we had some really great fishing. A little bit of kelp patty yellowtail. We dropped today a video of our first day on board the Independence. You're going to get to meet Brian Pfeiffer. You'll see the crew and meet them if you go back and watch that video tonight. You'll also get some great tackle tips, and you'll see the yellowtail, and you'll see that they're pretty darn small. Like, I want to say 4 to 8 pounds for the most part on the kelp patty yellowtail, but still kind of fun to catch. And while you're looking for bluefin, you might as well be doing that. And a lot of these guys, if they get their limits of bluefin tuna, like the Pacific Voyager did with Max Nui, Max had limits and he went rock cod fishing. And some of the rock cod fishing, you fished the 60, that place just opened up here not too long ago, and it's really good fishing on the bottom stuff. So really, really excellent fishing. Robert Graber. Good afternoon, Robert. Phil and the Friedman Adventure family fanatics. Happy Danny Kadota Show. An essential, absolutely. Without Danny Kadota, Danny's going to say, oh, shoot, why am I not on? He's probably watching right now, jumping in his car and heading down here. He forgot because I was out on the Independence. He probably thinks I'm still out there. Who knows? But that bluefin bite is for real. Now, white sea bass, the boys up in the Channel Islands. Let me just first of all tell you that the Island Spirit on Wednesday with my friend Captain Daniel Holloway, dedicated halibut trip. Every Wednesday, they leave an hour earlier. They don't charge anymore, and they focus solely on catching you some halibut. If you go on our Facebook page, Friedman Adventures Facebook page, I've got photos up there of some of those fish. He's going this Wednesday all for the halibut. And I highly recommend you either go to the website, which is venturasportfishing.com, or give him a call at 805-676-3474. And I'll tell you right now, they have been catching some really great halibut. Oh my goodness. You folks are not going to believe it. Oh, well, we'll wait for the surprise. Because somebody just walked in and is getting a cup of coffee. Thank goodness. Because this has your name on it. Danny just walked in, everybody. So he'll be here in just 1 second. Really good stuff. So they are dedicated to that. Seeing a ton of white sea bass up there. All those guys. That is a powder keg that's going to explode one of these days here very, very soon. And also, in addition to that, we have seen the Endeavor crank out some really excellent fishing on white sea bass. Tucker McCombs has had limits on a pretty regular basis. There's been great halibut fishing. Of course, the omnipresent rockfish bite has been spectacular. No doubt about that. One more time again, in case you're just joining us on Tackle Shop Confessions tonight, we will have a great raffle. $2,000 worth of rods are going out, a $300 mystery prize. The tickets are only $5 or 5 tickets for $20. I almost screwed that up. There's the information. You can text Chuck Zimmer if you want more info. He's a busy bee, I'll guarantee you that. You can also Zelle him to that phone number. If you want to Zelle him $20, he'll get your tickets, your 5 tickets set up for you. And also, you can Venmo him. And his Venmo is right there. It's Charles-Zimmer-5. So good stuff indeed. Jeff Lingle heard last night, east end of Cortez bit well. There you go, man. Those fish are on the Cortez, Jeff. Thank you so very much for that. You could see that happening, Jeff. In fact, when I was on board the Independence, I was saying that fish is pointed, nose is pointed right toward Cortez, and that doesn't surprise me at all. Now, Hopefully it'll settle in there and just hang out. Hopefully there's enough bait and the ocean is, the oceanography there. Talking about water temperature, clarity, and bait availability. Hopefully that's all good. And if that is the case, that could be good. Saw the El Patron was running tests today. Is the May 16th trip a go? I'd like a spot. Chivo, don't know yet. I haven't had a chance, and I will not have a chance until tomorrow to talk to them because I'm doing kind of back-to-back-to-back shows right now. So as soon as I hear from them, I will let you know. Tomorrow we should be able to let you know all about that. Hey, Phil, show off that coffee cup. See you at Sam's. I have some treats. Doesn't surprise me, Doug. You are the man. Doug Tilk provided us with these great coffee cups. There you go. 3 of us in here, Doug.
I didn't even read that.
Those.
That's cool.
Hey, Danny, come on in here.
They're beautiful. I can't believe it's time for the morning briefing. I love these cups.
That's Doug Tilk, man. Doug is the best.
Awesome.
Doug is the absolute best this world could offer. Doug, thank you so much. We'll see you in a little bit. Danny, what's up, man?
Philip,
how are you?
I went down. I got the shakes. I was out there.
Did you
just
really?
outside the door. Yeah, I got the shakes watching the freedom of the guy standing and painting. It brings back memories, nightmares.
Yeah, really. Boat work.
But that, you know what? But that's, you got to appreciate that. That's so much part of fishing that the passengers don't see. The crew has to go through to prep the boats to get it ready for the year. And
yeah.
This is that time of year. You just winding, grinding, and I mean, it's a lot of work to get the boat ready.
Well, we had an incredible trip on the Independence.
I saw that.
Did you?
I was envious. Unbelievable.
That was fun fishing, man.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Man. Everybody look at the calendars and go, where can you get this kind of fishing like this? I mean,
you can't, right?
I don't know.
And now it's limit
awesome.
Style. All these guys, American Angler, we were out working with them. They were just putting the wood to them.
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for the fleet.
Do you ever fish the Eddy Bomb? You ever fish that? Just the torpedo sinker?
I've tried it, and I have caught fish on it, but there's other lures I prefer. Actually. Yeah.
They were working so well for us.
That's
and,
awesome.
And we were talking to other guys, and they were working good for everybody. So I don't have any stock in Eddy Bombs, but I'm just telling you what I saw out there.
No, they work at this. So it's the profile, probably, right?
I don't know. I think it's that they get down fast. They do get down fast. So that might have a lot to do with it.
Well, that's a torpedo.
Yeah. And I don't know, Danny. I don't know if color matters at that depth at midnight.
I don't think so.
I don't either.
I really don't.
Just the movement, right?
I played with so many things over the years.
Yeah.
Colors. I've got fluorescent paints. I did this. You know what? It doesn't matter. They're there and they chew it. I mean, I can't explain it.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a great marketing tool.
Yes.
It's a great marketing tool for all of us. But I think they have it dialed in. They know what they want.
Yeah, I mean, I think let's be reasonable. Let's just talk this out for a second. So you got all these new jigs for catching barracuda nowadays, right? You telling me that if we went back 50 years and grabbed one of the jigs that we used to throw and threw it at a gar, it wouldn't bite that? Come on. They would bite it?
They're going to eat it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, you got Taddies, you got Pep jigs.
Oh, yeah.
Those those small Christie jigs.
Absolutely.
Leonard Luzier with his straggler jig. Yeah. I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. Sometimes those jigs are made to catch fishermen, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And there's time of year, you just get the jig in the water and they're going to eat it. Being out after running boats, I've seen so many things. The one thing a captain should never do is that's not going to work.
Yeah, I know.
I guarantee you'll
come back and bite you.
Oh, get you right back. Get you right back in the face, man. Just fly.
Live Free, Die Free says, afternoon, Danny and Phil. Thank you so much for being with us. Richard Reed, good afternoon, Phil and Danny. Alan Rushing, hi, Phil and Danny. Welcome home. Nice to see Captain Danny and friends like Robert and Captain Jeff. The boys say hi to everyone. Alan, we love you and the boys. It's really great to have you here. And Jeff Lingle was reading our mind, Danny, because he's been catching a lot of fish on the Eddy Bombs here recently.
Yeah.
Great guy, great source of information. Jeff, you make our show so much better. He said, we never use colored Eddy Bombs. Color is the self-fisherman. And I think he's right.
It's a great marketing deal.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
you got to have the
Yeah.
bull.
Yeah.
Give me a break. Live free, die free. The Eddie Bomb is awesome. Just a plain sinker. I made some in 16 and 18 and 20 ounce this past winter. Absolutely. In fact, there was a gentleman named Tom who was an ex-firefighter on the Independence, and he walked up to Captain Brian and said, "I don't have an Eddie Bomb." And he goes, "You want me to make you one? Hold on." Ran up, came back.
Yeah.
We called it the Indy Bomb. The Indy Bomb. And, before long, he's catching fish on the Indy Bomb.
Well, there's nothing that sinks like lead,
Right.
I'll tell
Right.
you. The problem, actually, in some of the alloys, in a bigger jig will probably float off a little bit more if it doesn't have the weight. It's got the design where it should just basically torpedo down to them, So, I mean, and then it's straight weight,
Yep. Man, straight nighttime fish. Well, we caught a little bit of daytime fish, and it was nice to see that fish down there off San Martin Island. You got the fish up there toward the butterfly. Now, Jeff is telling me that the Cortez Bank bit. So we're getting kind of a spread to it now, Danny, right? It's starting to show up in several different areas.
And that's good.
And that bodes well for the season.
Yeah, that's good. And, the boats can go off. You got different directions, whether it's a day trip, 2-day trip, 3-day, you have different areas that aren't going to get pressured as heavy. I think it's better like that, to be honest with you. And, you still have your diversity when you get down below to Laos or some of the other places where you have a combination of the yellows plus the tuna. So I imagine it didn't take you long to get your limits.
Yeah, no, guys were doing it. Shoot, I am so talented that I had a limit of rock cod and a limit of bluefin tuna while I was filming. I can film.
That's good fishing.
And yes, this is how talented I am.
That is good fishing.
I would walk back in the stern and see like 2 tuna laying there, and I'd go to the deckhands. I go, "Did I catch those?" And they'd look at my numbers on it because guys are giving me fish, and they go, "Yeah, you caught these." I go, "Man, I'm freaking good. I am so freaking good."
Beautiful.
Because my son Philip said, "Dad, I need some bluefin tuna.
Perfect.
We got something coming up." So I just mentioned it to him, and all of a sudden, I'm limited out on bluefin and rockfish later on.
Phil, that whole concept of going down there now anymore, before you go down, you contact all your friends and listen.
Yeah.
In the event that we whack them, just come down and get it.
Yeah.
And you're going to let me know, so we'll just save them whole. You come down and get it.
Yep.
Because, for us to, there was a time.
Expensive.
And we cleaned them all ourselves many years ago, before the processing.
I remember, man.
And that was a nightmare. I mean, you spend your whole day, come back after so many
You're
days
beat.
of fishing, you're beat, and then you got to go cut fish for, 6-7 hours or more. They go, no more. So we would always tell the guys, nowadays we tell them, come down and get it. Just let me know. We'll let you know. Call. We'll save you some fish.
Well,
Just come
luckily,
down.
my son said he wanted it to go to the processor and he wanted to pay for it. So I shot it over to our friends at Mario Sportsman Seafood. He walked up to me right before we left and says, "Tell your whole passengers $1.65. I'll do the fish for when you get back." So several guys took him up on that, including my son Philip. So that was good stuff, man. And like I say,
That's
I was
awesome.
very talented fisherman, Danny. Let me tell you.
You the man.
Isaac says, "I'll take the Eddie Bomb." I was looking at the tungsten jigs, $90 a jig.
Well, look at the material. Look at what you're talking
Yeah.
about with material.
Would you
Okay?
spend $100 for a
No,
jig?
not me. No. I'm sorry. I'm way old school.
Yeah, on that, right?
Yeah.
I know. I won't even spend $12 on a burger at a fast food joint. Give me a break.
I guarantee tungsten, it'll get down very quick. I could wait that few seconds. to be
Yeah.
honest with you, yeah.
Yeah,
But-
absolutely.
Yeah.
By the way, I got into the docks and I was going to wait for same day fish processing. And I look at my phone. I was scheduled to bartend at 10 a.m. I got my car and hauled ass for the Orange County Fair and put in a shift.
You guys are starting down there already?
Well, they had something with Porsches or something like that.
Oh, my God.
Hey, Mike, thanks for coming in and making all that noise. We really appreciate the background noise. Woo! Mike Krinkovich here,
Hey,
making all
Mike.
kinds of noise trying to distract us.
Yeah.
You want to stick your head in here so everybody knows who you are?
I'll see you
Turn it
guys.
around on him. And Anthony, there you go.
Here you go, Mike. Perfect.
Oh, Mike's going to sit here.
It's the
There you
Danny
go.
K Show.
No, that's Mike.
Are you going to tackle shop?
Yeah.
Perfect.
There you go.
All
There
right,
you go.
perfect.
Scott already told me what to bring.
No. Scott sent me an invitation to his birthday. Mike, Scott sent me an invitation. It said, oh, this is tomorrow night. I'm going to his other party. So I would love you to be at my birthday party. Will you please be at my birthday party? I need a rail rod and a 2-speed reel.
What? No cake?
Yeah.
This guy didn't ask for cake?
So I got a nice print of a rail rod and a photo I'm going to give to him. What what a guy.
Birthday. It's not even his birthday. It's not till Friday.
Yeah, I know. He's already hitting on Paulina.
Well,
he wants Paulina.
I called him today.
I'm not sure anybody can hear you, so speak up a little bit there.
All
Oh, here.
I called
I'm
Scott
over here. Here we go.
today.
Yeah.
I go, hey, how are you getting to Island? He goes, what do you mean? Because I saw in the news like that the train is shut down through San Juan Capistrano.
Oh, thank God.
I go, that's what Phil told me. You take the train.
Yeah.
He goes, no, I meant my parent. He's
taking an Uber.
and he's Ubering. And I go, well, should I bring wings? He goes, no, I'm bringing 80.
Oh, wow.
All right, then I'll go to
Wow.
Ralph's.
Look at Anthony.
So he told me to, I go, isn't the Ralph's right next door? He goes, yeah, get chicken pieces.
There you are.
Isn't that also wings?
Yeah, right. Exactly. All right, Mike, we're going to get back to the show. Good to see you.
All right.
Oh,
Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yes, no problem. $90 for a tungsten jig. What are you doing? You give it to him if you're getting in the raffle.
No, that was for the last time.
Oh, that's right. I threw him in. I forgot about that. Mike,
Put me in.
I would have forgotten
Yeah.
you, man.
What a good gentleman.
Thank you, sir.
Why would I wouldn't forget you?
I love you so much now. I take back everything I said to Scott Buchert about
I
you.
watched all your, indie updates.
Yeah, Chuck Zimmer, I threw $40 in there for him and then I forgot. All right, I think we're all under control here.
All right.
David says it's like using a jig that lost its paint works the best. Tackle companies are fishing for wallets, Danny.
You know what? Fishermen are always going to go buy those different colors, and they get that in their head that that's it. And it, like you said, over time we find out. We just go up in the wheelhouse, grab something. Of course, we had our favorites, but you know what? If it's down in front of the fish, chances are pretty good. You're gonna nail them pretty good.
You think?
Yeah, unless you got it absolutely stinks something. You gotta stink the jig up by doing something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
James Blanchard. I hope James is going to be there tonight. He loves Scott Buchert, and we love James. And James says on the Eddie Bomb, what size treble hook, should we use? I have no idea. Yes. 5-0.
Yeah.
A 5-0.
Big. Go big.
See, I could have looked at Anthony. He tells me a 5-0 and played like I knew, but I don't have any idea. So thank you, Anthony. We appreciate it. Go big or go home. Is that how that goes? Yeah. Go big or go home.
I mean, look at the diversity and the size. You want to make sure you got a big radius.
Oh, heck yeah. You want to
Yeah.
hang them on a
Yeah.
big hook. The bigger, the better, right?
Yep.
All right, very good. Mag Dog, or Jeff Lingle, hi, Alan. Say hi to the kids for me. Oh, I didn't know you guys know each other. That's great, Mad Dog. Hey, Danny, give me and Phil some knowledge on how... Hey, yes, Danny, we are going, Mad Dog and I, on Monday, we're going to drive to Tecate, Mexico, and there's a lake with bass in it.
Cool.
Now, I called my son and asked him, what's the best way for two guys that don't know what the hell they're doing for bass to catch? And here's what he told me. He's a bass fisherman, but I'll defer to you. He said, drop shot is going to be your best way. That's going to be good for you guys. I'll tell you that right now. Come over and we'll talk colors on a dark lake. You want a darker color. On a clear lake, you want a clear. He said, is there rocks there? And I said, yeah. He said, there's probably crawdads.
You fishing a boat or shore?
Probably shore. They had some old
The
dilapidated...
drop shot's a little tougher because your angle from throwing out on
Yeah,
shore
it's kind of...
is flat. So, I mean, yeah, drop shot's better when you're vertical.
Yeah.
You cover the water column a little bit better.
Yeah.
I would use a Texas type rig
Okay.
because that gets you Texas or split shot. Split shot rig too, either way.
Texas
Pretty
or split
effective.
shot?
It depends how
With a
far you have
worm?
to make a cast. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, and the Texas, you could adjust the sizes of the weights. Very simple. Use a big hook, a 3/0, 4/0 or something. Just
Do you
nice and
know
warm.
what a Texas rig is?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might be
But
able to do this.
it's more weedless. Right?
Oh.
It's weedless. It'll pull through because the tip of the hook sunk back into the worm, so it won't hang on anything. With a drop shot or something else too. I mean, if it's If you got an exposed hook, you snag something, snag a branch, you're going to snag that branch. So it's a little different. It gives you a lot more fishing time and effectiveness in the water because you're going to be making the cast instead of breaking it off, retying, So especially in the lake if you haven't fished it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now what online?
I would say to be safe, and the lighter the line, the more bites you're going to get. I'm going to tell you that flat out. That's just the way it is. Yeah, 10's great. 12. What's the history of the lake? What are the size of the fish? Big.
Well,
Well,
I was there
we-
once, and I saw there was like an 8-pounder trying to eat my. I had a crappie or a bluegill
Yeah,
hooked.
yeah.
So it was one. That's all I saw that day, though.
Okay.
It's a weird
well,
place.
We fished all those, trophy-sized fish. All I fished was 10, and I dropped down even.
Oh,
lower
really?
sometimes. Oh, yeah, yeah. Because they don't listen. That world record-sized fish, those things, they don't get big by accident.
Uh-huh.
There's something in their habits. There's something that they do, whether it's your bait being completely natural or not having the hook exposed too much. We try to get them fly line the most of the time, depending on how deep you are, you might use a split shot or a sliding rig, but, it all corresponds to the size of the fish and type of fish. If there's less pressure, like when you go to those, like you say, Mexican lakes and stuff where you're catching hundreds, fish something very simple, split shot would be great. Just pop it on. If you get hung up and break it off, you could just tie a hook, split shot, bingo, you're in business.
Okay, we're gonna try it. We'll see
Or
if
you could
this
slide-
guy and I can catch
or a sliding
fish.
hook. Either way, yeah.
What's your
go.
guess? Are we gonna catch a fish? Yes or no?
Oh yeah.
Oh, come on! You can
Down
be
there?
honest with
No,
everybody.
down there you
guys
will.
don't have
You
a
will.
chance.
Come by the house, I'll give you some worms.
There you go.
Yeah.
We'll do that. Now we're talking, and we'll videotape your advice to us. Make it part of the show,
There you go.
and then you can watch the show and say, "You dummies! I told you not to do. What are you guys doing?" So we're gonna try this on
Listen, I gotta
a week from
tell you,
today.
A serious bass, guys. We would prank each other all the time.
Yeah.
Were they biting, and we tell them, oh yeah, we got them on marshmallows or this and that. we would mess with people, our friends, especially our friends. Not so much people we didn't know. We did, there was a certain credibility, but with friends, there's no limit.
Oh, I
There's
agree,
absolutely no
man.
limit on messing. I mean, you had the greatest bragging rights if you could really mess with one
Oh,
of your
heck
friends.
yeah!
So that was always the great challenge.
All right, we'll give it a try. Hey, everybody, hit that like button. Don't forget, big raffle tonight over on Tackle Shop Confessions. There's all the information right there. If you need info, you can send Chuck a text. That's his phone number, so you can Zelle him the funds there. $5 a ticket, 5 tickets for $20. And that's his Venmo there that you can see. Also, this is our new Spanish language YouTube channel, Aventuras del Gringo. Check it out if you speak Spanish. If you're bilingual or you want to learn Spanish, go over there and check it out. Live free, die free. Butterfly is what? About 70 miles out? It's about right. Dan, do you know where the Wishbone is?
Wishbones.
I've never heard of that bank. I think somebody else asked me this recently. The Wishbone.
I remember hearing that. But you know what? I've been off the boat way too long.
I don't remember hearing the Wishbone.
Yeah.
390 butterfly, frickin' 425,
Mushroom,
the
425,
shrimp,
of course, you got
the worm
Cortez,
bank,
Tanner, worm.
Tanner Cortez, 7090.
Yeah,
Remember the 7090 way out there?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where that is. Wishbone. Somebody might know. I'll bet Jeff Lingle knows. Jeff might have even asked me about that. Robert Graber. Hey, Alan, give the boys a high five for me. Jeff Yeomans from the 540 Slingers Club. Jeff, how long's it been since I've been able to give you a hug? I hope you're doing well, my friend. He says, good afternoon, Danny.
All right.
And Phil, Alan Rushing says, will do. Captain Jeff and Robert. Forgot to say hi to Anthony, the mad dog. Don't screw with the dog, Alan. Remember, dogs bite sometimes. Richard Reed. Dan, I purchased a Semperfish 701 rod blank to wrap for trout and bass. Should I coat it with permagloss or leave it in its sanded and unfinished state?
Okay, here's the deal. Here's the problem I had with the trout rods. The most effective way to fish it is leaving it unsanded because you don't have any added weight from the finish. What we did have was on a lot of those, some, quite a few of them came in over sanded. So having a very light coating without weighing it down too much, I was never into coating the rods in the fancy wraps and anything else, but all that weight, extra weight from the thread, the wraps, the varnish, and everything else takes away from the efficiency of the rod. Okay, and I was pretty hardcore about it. With that particular rod, with that one, it's so light, and because of what I've seen in the past, I would coat it. I would put a light coating of a flex coat or something on it. That would just give it a little bit of, protection against like dinging it and stuff like that. I think that would help a little bit.
Perfect. Richard, there you go. Great question. Thank you, Danny, for a great answer. Hit that like button. Lots of people watching. Jeff Lingo's back, and Jeff is absolutely right. He says, look how effective the cedar plug is. One of the oldest. Yeah, I mean, it's just a plain...
Stick of wood.
Yeah, it's a piece of wood.
It's like a cigar. Yeah.
And, I mean, it gets bit as good as anything,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
Yes. We're going to have all the jig companies wanting to slash our tires in the parking lot. You realize that, right? Man, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like that kind of stuff works, right?
I could take up the most chewed up jig I had in the wheelhouse and put it on. If they're biting, it doesn't matter. It's the way, especially if it goes through the water, it's the way you swim it too.
Yeah.
So, that has a lot to do with it.
Yep. David says, drag a Lizard Carolina rig or crawdad on a football jig head. I think Philip was talking about a football jig head. Thank you, David, for that. This lake, Danny, by the way, Patrick and I had a hard time finding it, and we finally found it. And I walked up, and there's like no gringos anywhere near. And it's like a complete, and it says membership only. Anybody else, you're out. And they actually have a Mexican bass club that fish this lake. So I went, oh, is this membership only? He goes, yeah, sí, señor, and I was going, oh, okay. And I hand him a $20 bill. I go, am I a member now? And he goes, yeah, you're a member. So for the day, for one day.
That works.
So we went in, and it was cool. And they had these boats. Man, they look like they're ready to sink, which I love. I mean, I'm telling Anthony, we got it,
That's a story in itself.
That's great video if we sink in the lake, right? I don't swim all that well.
I would go during the summer. Well, the water's a little warmer then, I think.
Yeah. So this is going to be some kind of craziness that's going on. Next Monday, I believe, Anthony and I still have to firm up a couple of things, but we have a game plan of going to Tecate and fishing that lake, going to Ensenada, and doing a Tackle Shop Confessions Ensenada version, and going bar perch fishing, and going crazy in general.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo, we're going to go to Mexico. And here's what I want to do. I shouldn't spoil it, but why not?
Yeah.
Have a bar in the United States. Everybody's drunk. And, Cinco de Mayo, Mexican independence, which it's not. It's not. It doesn't have anything to do with Mexico. And then go in a bar in Mexico on Cinco de Mayo, and it's pretty much like no one's doing anything. It's not a big celebration day there.
Look at these pinchy gringos.
Yeah.
Look at these idiots.
100%, man. I'm telling you.
Cinco de Mayo is
Hey, Mike Krinkovich is still here. I thought I heard somebody moaning out there. I thought it was somebody dying, actually, but it's not. All right, Jolene Thompson. I hope my lady luck is good tonight. Jolene, your lady luck is always good. It's good here at Friedman Adventures all the time. Jeff Lingo, I told you he would know. Wishbone is west of Punabanda. Okay.
You're pretty close.
West of Punabanda.
That's where
It's
they're
like
nailing them? No.
Bonda Bank area, Jeff, or what? Jolie, sometimes it's a bank that we fish, but they've come up with a new name for it. Or, I don't know.
They're getting fish on it right now?
No, he just asked where it was.
Oh, okay.
But I did see Sammy Susare, who's out of Ensenada, holding a bluefin today saying, fish are here. So it looks like maybe they got one, and maybe that wishbone.
As far as I remember, I think it was about 60 miles.
Yeah.
From out of Dago. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff, for that. Jolene Thompson. Jolene you got to go fishing with Jolene. She is absolutely the best. She's got a 2-day Pacific Voyager charter with a few spots open. I wish I could go too, Jolene, but we're going to be doing our trip out of Ventura on board the Island Spirit. And then we have some festivities the day after, as Pauline and her mom are driving up from Ensenada to be part of that. And we go out with my niece, Connie, Dr. Connie Friedman up there in Ventura. So I wish I could. So that trip is Saturday, May 31st, 9 p.m. Back Monday, June the 1st, 7 p.m. Pacific Voyager. Max Nui is one of my favorite young captains. He's just fantastic. I don't see a phone number up here. Sometimes YouTube will block that, you putting a phone number up, or some way to contact Jolene, but you can contact her on Facebook, and I highly recommend you do it. Sarge says hello. Good to see you. And Jolene says Captain Max has been catching limits on bluefin tuna. They just told me the yellows are active at the islands. Team Seaforth. Dan Lightfoot, good afternoon, Phil. And Mad Dog and Danny. Good to see you. And Jeff Yeomans. Jeff, I always say thank you for your service because both Danny and I are big on that kind of stuff. Definitely been over a year. I know, man. It's been a long time since we met up in person. I'm doing well. Really busy with work. Very, very good stuff. Jeff says the wishbone area is between two banks, the hidden bank, which I know where it is, and the upper 500. So you know where both those are, and so do I. So got it. I kind of have it in my head where that is, Jeff. Jeff, man, you are number one. That's all I can say. So another thing that's going on, Danny, is the white sea bass fishing up in the Channel Islands. It just seems like it's ready to explode. They've made some great catches up there.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and they are seeing a lot of fish.
Oh, that's great to see. Yeah, so you just take your pick. Get a bottle and spin it, and that's where you go.
What would you pick right now? If you had a choice between halibut and white sea bass fishing with cod or bluefin tuna, what would you pick?
Right now?
Yeah.
You know we're going to have a long season on the tuna.
Yeah.
So I'd go fish the sea bass.
I would too.
Yeah.
I'm with you because exactly what you said.
Yeah.
And the deeper we get in towards summer, the more active you'll start catching daytime fish and that kind of stuff.
Hey, you never know what's coming up from behind there too. So
you really don't, man. You really don't.
But
I mean,
that's great fishing as it is right now. The fishing you guys have, phenomenal.
I know.
That's
We were
unreal.
so blessed, man.
That's phenomenal.
Jeff Lingle says he'd fish sea bass too. We have a 2.5-day trip out of here on board the Apollo in June, and man, if we have a chance to fish for white sea bass and halibut, I'll be all over that. That would be fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's a weird world where you can go out in Southern California and catch a limit of bluefin tuna and maybe a limit of white sea bass on the very same trip.
How cool is that? You know, you talk about diversity. My God, and it could happen very easily. Very easily this year, you know.
And remember in the old days when you were fishing albacore or fishing offshore, whether it was yellowfin or anything else, that was it, man. You were going to catch offshore fish, and that's it. Nowadays, you got a chance at all this different kind of stuff.
Listen, you go anchor up at Cortez, you know, go fish yellows. I mean, there's just so many things that, you know, they're available to you now, you know. So I think it's, as far as diversity goes, probably better than ever. Where you can get all that, you can get that mix. Take your pick.
I know.
You want to go further north, you can get salmon now. You know.
Really, man. I mean, it's really incredible. $2,000 in rods, a $300 mystery prize on Tackle Shop Confessions tonight. There's the info. Send Chuck a text if you need more info. $5 a ticket, $20 will get you 5 tickets. You can Zelle him at that phone number or Venmo him at Charles-Zimmer-5. And hope you can participate and win something. What have you been up to? Have you been fishing, or have you been with the grandkids? Or?
Grandkids, we went to, Gail and I went to a great little place down in Newport Beach the other night, and we watched Kenny Loggins in a real tight corner.
Oh, yeah?
Real tight. It's a little club.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal. Kenny Loggins, there was the guys from Ambrosia, that were, you know, notable friends. There was a benefit for Dave Pack's daughters, and we were very fortunate sitting right there, and I'm sitting, you know, we're sitting right below their table, which was elevated just behind us, and I looked straight out. You know who I saw?
Who?
Toyo Shimano.
Really?
And we gave each other a big hug, and I haven't seen him in ages. But he was always a
Does he live in the USA?
friend. Oh, I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
I'm sure they still probably have houses.
Wow, that's great.
In Irvine or something. I haven't seen him in years. But he was very good to me those years. We were G. Loomis. And
Did you get to chat with him a little bit?
Yeah,
or?
a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just good seeing him,
Yeah.
Haven't seen him. It's been many, many years. But
That's
so
great.
you never know what you're going to
I'm telling you, man, that's for sure.
It was cool.
Robert Graber says Eric's Tackle. And Eric's Tackle helped us a great deal with regard to our Mexico effort, sending goods down to Mexico. Has Jig Para 250-gram tungsten jigs in Sriracha and Katy Perry for only $79.95. Save $10 in the 805. So there you go, man. You get those jigs for cheaper at Eric's Tackle in beautiful Ventura, California. I believe I have that right, Robert? Ventura, where Eric's Tackle is for sure. I'm all fired up about this bass fishing in Tecate now, man. We're going to get on a boat that sinks. We're going to get expert advice from you.
Well, they'll have to give you secondary tackle.
Yeah.
If the boat's sinking.
You know, maybe you skip the tackle and give us a life jacket. You got a couple of
And a
extra
bamboo.
life jackets.
Give me a big bamboo pole.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, the boats I saw there didn't look like they looked
Well,
pretty.
that. Just make sure you have housing for your cameras or your phones.
I know, really, exactly.
I'm bit, and all of a sudden the water's going, and you're underwater. Here's the fish. We got underwater coverage now.
Oh my God, that's too much. And by the way, everybody, Anthony and I will be taking a load of clothing down to Mexico. We'll be taking that in. And this time I believe we're going to give it to Paulina, my co-host in Mexico. She's going to take it to the Catholic Church. We might ride along with her and film that so you can see it and give it to the Padre there, and then he distributes it to the parishioners in his parish that are a little bit more in need than other parishioners. So we will be all about that. In fact, Anthony and I were going through a lot of the clothing that we have here, and then we have more stuff in the warehouse, and we'll be doing
this,
that.
though.
Yeah,
I
what do
just
we
happen
got?
to have the shirt on. Listen, a friend of mine goes down to Ensenada. He builds
Oh,
houses.
is he this guy? Oh, that's great.
Wait. This wasn't even... It's not staged.
We didn't plan this,
I didn't
did we?
plan it, no. Today I was wearing blue, but here, Phil, can you
Okay,
can you
don't
read
move.
that?
Yeah. Our vision to share the love of God, to bring hope, inspiration, and belief by changing a life, to change a generation, one life at a time. It's the Sonora Foundation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then it's in Spanish also, Nuestra Visión. Beautiful, man. Sonora Foundation. That's www.sonorafoundation.org. That sounds beautiful. So they build houses down there?
They build houses, they go down, they bring all the material from up here, and and one day they will put up a house. It's phenomenal.
That is.
It is absolutely. So we donate to them, and
yeah.
I actually I like to get down there. I told Gail, let's go down there. We've been invited down and go down and help out.
Yeah.
Swing a hammer or something.
Man, you do that, Danny, and I remember when I was doing stuff like missionary work, and the priests would tell me, the people that were involved in that would tell me, you're going to get way more out of this than you're giving to the people.
You know what?
And they were right. Every single time.
He filmed a lot of that to show, what they're doing, and it's heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
To see how you change these people's lives.
And how they change yours.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. But they will put these houses up in one day.
That's so cool.
And it's just, we take so much for granted here.
Yeah, you know, I wonder like these Elon Musk homes that are like 10 grand now, and they're all, I wonder, if that's going to become something that's going to be, he impresses me as the kind of guy that might be interested in helping people like that.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Please don't key my car if you don't like Elon Musk, please. And Jeff Lingle says, great cause, Danny. Yeah, I mean, like, I get a lot of people who say, oh, you're doing great work, but I get so much out of it.
No,
it's like
so worth it. I'll tell you.
When I was going to AA meetings on a regular basis, they would say to you, it's counterintuitive. This sounds like it's not sensible, but when you're feeling really down, you're feeling like crap, and you're starting to feel sorry for yourself, go out and help somebody. and it will change.
Oh, absolutely.
You'll run into somebody with
Absolutely.
real problems.
Absolutely.
You're whining about BS.
Yeah, little
Meanwhile,
stuff.
somebody's got cancer
Yeah.
or somebody's really
Or these
sick.
people don't have a roof over their heads.
Right,
You know?
right.
But yeah, it's a neat deal.
By the
Absolutely.
way, somebody who is very ill right now, and that is Sean Arnold from Fish Tqckle Chronicles.
yeah,
Do you know Sean?
I saw that, yes.
We
I
send
saw
you
that.
all our love, Sean, and blessings, and hope that you recover quickly. That is one of the nicest guys
Yes.
that ever
I've dealt with
lived.
Sean over the years. When
Yep.
he was,
When my wife first came to the United States from Costa Rica, she was in the booth, and he came up and he was saying hi, and I go, "This is Ruth," and she doesn't speak English, so she's like, trying to ask me, and I'm trying to say, what are you doing? So he had his magazine, and he pointed at it, and he said, "Para el baño," for the bathroom, like to use for toilet paper. He had that kind of sense of humor about his own magazine, and she got a kick out of that. And he's
good.
such a lovely guy.
Yeah.
I got to see him at the PCS show, and Sean, man, hang in there, and you've got all our love and thoughts and prayers for sure.
Absolutely, Sean. Yeah.
Don't make a better guy than him. And Pete Thomas will be here in a moment. He used to joke about that. That's an inside joke, though. Hopefully you're seeing this. Live free, die free. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Let's see. Johnny Gomez. Johnny, or Gomes, I think it is, right? The Spanish pronunciation would be Gomez. I recently bought a binder of Taddy and Salas irons. They are new. Price tags are $3.99. How old do you think they are? A $3.99 jig? Oh, I would say like 1841, right? Oh, man.
Are they made out of wood?
$3.99.
Just kidding.
Jeez. Speaking of 1841, Mike just said something. I think he was born in 1841, wasn't he?
He bought those at Jimco.
Jimco, he bought him at. There you
Yeah,
are.
that'll date it,
He's
for
got
sure.
all the info. $3.99. I'll bet that was back in the 70s.
Yeah, you know what? I have no idea what the price. We were blessed. We had Billy and Taddy Shimizu walk down on the docks.
Oh, yeah, with
and come
buckets.
down, yeah, and yeah. We were blessed.
I remember that.
But that was such a smart way of marketing. Who do you give it to? You give it to the captain and crews.
Yeah.
So, and so I mean, we're up in the bow whacking the fish, and all our passengers come out. What are you using? Well, here, it's a 45 with, and for us it was he painted it the Mustang green, and that's the seafoam type green, yeah. So, it had to do with having that relationship on the dock with the fishermen, and it was just a neat old school way of marketing too, back in those days, right?
Scott Buchert's birthday party. That's why Mike is here. He can hardly contain himself. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Mike doesn't change into something really sexy tonight for Scott. Oh, listen. There he is, man. He's getting excited out there. Thank God you can't hear any of this, everybody. Live free, die free says arm floaties and a unicorn ring. That's for you and I in Mexico. Man, we're going to need it. Let me tell you. I'm going to hit Paulina over the head with it. How's that sound? Brian Rice. Looked like you had a good trip. Thanks for the videos. Brian, thanks for your support. Appreciate it very, very much. Whoa!
Oh!
Doing that stuff is so much fun for yours truly. And that was Divine Providence saying,
Timber.
remind everybody about the raffle. There's all the information. We'll be over there on Tackle Shop Confessions. $2,000 worth of stuff. Brian, it was great. Thank you. Had so much fun with that Independence group. Manila ice cream. Man, I'm still trying to get caught up on the 5-day videos. Hey, Manila ice cream. I know I just put one out today. Hope you're enjoying it. We had a lot of fun. Jeff Lingle, 35 years. What was that in reference to?
The jigs.
The jigs, he says, 35 years ago for $3.99 a jig.
35.
I would say
1990-ish.
90, really, Jeff?
89,
Maybe you're right. Huh?
80.
No, you're right, because
Let's see.
I did 97610 in
think it was
85, so
I was almost getting off the boat at that time.
yeah, you were?
Yeah.
Pretty
much, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because it started straight out of college. So that was in 70,
We were down there for a day at the docks. That was a good showing of people here this year.
That's terrific.
Do you like day at the docks? Did you ever do that? Or were you out
we used
fishing
to.
all
We
the
had
time?
no choice. We're part. We have H&M, but no, we used to go there when we had the boats.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, we had a good time.
And we'd go down there when we're introducing new products. We'd get a booth because it was a fun deal. And,
Yeah.
And I don't know if Kathy Miller used to
She
run
walked
it.
by. I
Oh, was
didn't.
she
I didn't
say-
get a chance to
oh,
say
yeah.
hi to her,
Oh,
but I
yeah,
saw her.
yeah, it's- she was great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
still is. She looked
Yeah.
like she was
Yeah.
kind of enjoying
Sure,
walking
sure,
around.
sure.
And Catherine Miller, yeah, she does a great job with Day at the Docks. That
Yep.
is for sure.
That's awesome.
Aventuras del Gringo is our new Spanish language YouTube channel. Make sure you check it out. Guaranteed you're going to have some crazy stuff in Mexico next week. Who knows where we might find ourselves. Michael Burke. Hi, young man. Must be talking to you, Danny. Great to see you. Again, love watching all your videos. Thank you, Michael. My pleasure, man. That is for sure. When I said we're going to Tecate to fish that lake, first thing he said to me, oh, we got to get Danny to go, or we got to talk to Danny, and get some info from him. So, and he's right, man,
When you go to a new lake, you do have to go prepared. You're probably going to take down more tackle than what you need. But then if you don't have it, you're really, you're out of luck, So, but it's always simple, depending on the platform, whether you're going to be on a boat, whatever, to adjust your tackle to that mode of fishing, number one.
Yeah.
If you're fishing from shore, you probably want a longer rod, maybe even a spin. Who knows? It depends. You can do drop shotting. It just depends. I don't know the structure. If there's rocky areas, you're going to fish different things too. You probably want swim baits. You don't want anything dropping into the rocks because you'll be hanging, breaking off.
Yeah, right,
a lot.
right.
We
We just want to catch one bass, so
yeah,
we're not
there
two
you go.
doofuses. That's it, We just, I don't care if it's sheer luck.
We got
yeah.
skunked the last time.
What, skunk doing what? Oh, well, yeah, we
Well, I guess
did.
we half
You
caught
caught and
it.
released one.
Okay,
You
so
caught and released a
it's
barred
spring.
perch.
So keep that in mind. That has a lot to do with it.
That is?
They're spawning.
Yeah.
Probably pre-spawn and pre-spawn. Or maybe they might be done with that. They might be, spawning period because I think it's already, it's late April.
Yeah.
Pre-spawn's probably over, yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually probably a fairly it's a tougher time to get the fish after. There's a,
Oh, don't say that, Danny.
as the water warms up now, then they'll start going on their big shad feeds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they're coming off the spawn. But you can always, like I said, fish on a plastic worm. You can't go wrong. You can cover a lot of ground. You don't hang up as much. You're not going to spend as much time breaking off stuff. If you're throwing a blade, spinnerbait, or a crank, you may lose them. It gets costly. And without knowing the structure, if you cast it and all of a sudden you hang a tree out in the middle of nowhere, and that one's gone now because without a boat,
Yeah, right.
it's tough to get it out. So, the most effective way is a plastic worm.
Perfect.
And fish it Texas style, so it's weedless.
That sounds good to me. Boy, we're running out of time. Look at the time. It's 5 o'clock. Our
Holy
show is
smokes.
over. What is going on? Jason Lawler, the excellent galley chef on board the Amigo. How's it going, guys? Jason, good to see you. Heading to Mexico on Monday, Jason. Robert Graber, hey, Captain Jeff, what is the name of your charter boat operation? Hey, Jeff, I didn't even know. I thought you were a private boater. If you have if you're up for hire, let us know. Robert, I run our company's boat for their clients. That's what I thought. Good stuff. Jason Lawler heading out tomorrow for halibut and bass local. Good luck, Jason. Hope you get them. Danny, we got to say goodbye. Can you believe it?
Wow.
I know. That went fast.
That's
but
cool.
Ton
Yeah.
of people watching.
That's great.
Great show. Good to see you. I'm sorry I missed you last week, but
well, you know what?
I had to, go fishing on the Independence.
Yeah.
What a man.
Wait, hold on, let me get the violin, the fiddle. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like walking.
So sorry for you.
I like walking back to the stern and saying, hey, did I catch those? Guy from Washington, Corey is his name, catches this big ling, hits the deck, and I think it was Brian. Yeah, it was Brian. Brian gapped it, and he goes, what number are you? He goes, 25. And he goes, you're giving that to Phil? And he goes, yeah, I'm giving it to Phil. I go, Corey, come here, let me give you a hug and a kiss. So I got to take care of Philip, and it was good stuff. Hey, we'll
Good
see you on
deal.
Tackle Shop Confessions in 1
All
hour.
right.
Huge raffle tonight. There's the info one more time. If you want to participate and win some great prizes, Danny, always great to see you, my friend.
We'll see you guys next week.
God bless everybody. Take care, and we'll see you soon.